Everyday Superpower, where we talk body language, relationships, game, human dynamics, and everything in between. Let me put you on some game today. First and foremost, click the link in the description, join the Patreon if you want to learn about body language. Secondly, let's continue with this chat. I'll give you some game, right? I'll talk some money game with you. People say get money and you'll get women. Yes. Biologically speaking, the feminine of the species is attracted to resource. Yes, because it gives that child that she may bear with you, the suitor, a better life. It might give her, the selfish, narcissistic side of the woman, a better life. Why not? Who doesn't want a better life, right? Funnily enough, there is a flip turn with the older woman who can't childbear no more and wants a toy boy. The younger male may look to her in the same way a young girl looks at an older man as far as resources is concerned. Yes? Less accentuation on the physical form and more amplification on the attributes and the possession of that person before them. And I say the attributes because, it's not necessarily purely down to the fact you've got money in the bank. It's down to the fact you've got the ambition, drive, maybe social circle, and so on and so forth. There's so many different variables that create this state of being for a man. Now, I'm going to tell you my experience. I don't come from anything. Honestly, anything. I've started to make a couple of quid. I continue on making more and more each and every month. Things are going well. I'm breaking a cycle of poverty. This is my first insight as to how people change around you when they realize you've got money. And we're going to talk about women, right? Because it's bittersweet. It's bittersweet. Is that woman you've always wanted to be with going to start to, give you a little more time, flirt with you a little more, be a little more present? Now she knows you've got money? Yes. Do you know it's because you've got money? I'm around people who have got it, yes? And it seems as if they are blinded by the reality that a lot of these women use them. Right? These women come and go and they wonder, why didn't she stay? Why did she come spend my money and go? Right? It's because resource is one thing, but to have the character and the game on lock to be able to keep a woman on her toes in the right manner in a relationship, that's not taught to you when you're just used to getting women purely because the money's making you handsome, right? So I'm seeing a couple of people, a couple of girls, couple of pretty young things, and when you start talking numbers and start saying you're doing all right, you'll keep a hold of them, but suddenly the dynamic shifts. And suddenly the reality of the biology between man and woman starts to become more prominent. And don't get me wrong, generally speaking, I don't deem it a bad thing because I think it allows a man to drive himself into positions he wouldn't do normally, transmutating that sexual desire into ambition and work ethic in order to garner the attention of women he has always craved. I think is incredibly beneficial. But the reality of it is, let's say from a social sexual marketplace standpoint, if the man with more resource and more success and this, that, and the third rates higher, there comes a certain standard of woman you're going to start to attain and receive that are just purely used to being in the field with men with money. So what happens if you don't give them any? Hey, you can play that game. But the whole point is they're going to have to know that you've got it. At the very least. Yeah? Don't get me wrong, you can run game on a nice looking girl and this and that. Nothing wrong with that. But if you want to understand that if you've got money, you're going to be more successful in the marketplace, it is true. But there is a emptiness to it. Because the relationship between you and her starts to become a little more transactional. Oh, you're only cooking for me, you're only looking after me, you're only doing this because you know I'm gonna foot the bill. Which is nice. That's the traditional role. You can't say you want a traditional woman if you can't be the traditional man. But you're now in a position where 50-50 turns into maybe still 50-50 as far as paying the bills are concerned, but there's a bitter edge to it because there's an undercurrent of reality that you're starting to make more money. By default, you're going to have to start putting more in to diminish this negative energy you're now inviting into your space. And when I say negative energy, hey, I know there's pimps, hoes and tricks, right? And we're not paying 50 pence to put cheese on a burger, man. That's what most will say. Most people aren't pimps, man. Most people aren't going to do that. Hey, the pimp game is reality, but I'm not doing that. I'm going to be generous, right? Because with generosity comes a fantastic, receptive, karmic energy that comes your way, real talk. And as somebody who didn't come from anything, it's nice to have it and to be generous and to give it. But now you're consistently walking on this tightrope that if you are generous, you need to ensure that it's not taken for granted. So you have this complete new transactional game at play, right? If you've got it and you understand, you understand. But I'm speaking from a position of having nothing. Real talk. I know people say that, but I'm sure you can hear it in the way I speak from time to time. I'm street smart. I'm not book smart, man. You know, I've had to pick up my feet and learn how to get this myself and learn how to dabble with these people myself because nobody else was going to do this for me. And now I'm seeing a change in the reactions of women when you reference the comfort and provision you can provide. How different would you perceive that woman you've always wanted to be with, who's always been outside of your reach, if now you can get her, but you know it's not because of you, but because of the middleman, if you know it's because of the material possession, it all becomes a little bit empty, right? But that's the reality. That was a little ramble and a rave. Click like and subscribe, man. Peace.